Get ready for another episode of the B&B Lawn Care Podcast, a show that helps you stay positive, overcome challenges in your business, and most importantly, help you make more money in your lawn and landscaping business. Here's your host, Blake Albertson.
An embarrassed host today. What's going on, guys? Man, this is take number 3. A little rusty here. We're playing with some new equipment here on the podcast. I have a new microphone. Let me know what you guys think of it. I had some messages from the last couple episodes saying, hey, it's a little, I'm hearing some background noises. So I bought this filter. Supposedly it's going to help. I'm going to try not to touch the microphone, but take 3. I have this Rodecaster. You know, Paul Jameson was the one that told me about it a couple years ago to use it. I hit the wrong button. I was like 5 minutes into the last podcast. I hit the wrong button, and you know how it goes. So we're trying here. Take number 3. Super cool podcast here today, I think. I have some footage with Mike Andes from the GIE Expo. I had no real plans for this footage, but the information is really, really good. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of my commentary, my thoughts on this information. I have it connected here to the podcast. I will say my microphone at the show, it was not good. So I apologize about the audio coming from this footage, but the information is really, really, really good. So I hope you guys listen. I'm trying to get better. You guys are here with me in the beginning to, man, we're going to try to kick this thing off and get the quality up there. Man, I'm telling you, Paul, Brian, the Almonds, they all make this look so easy. But it's hard because the audio has to be really, really good. Like I hate hearing a crack or something in my earphones, like when I'm listening to a podcast. So I'm trying over here, guys. Let's shoot it over here real quick, Mr. Producer. Then we're going to hear from Mike Andes.
Today's show is brought to you by thestripenation.com. The Stripe Nation is your home for information-packed online courses. Prepare to see your lawn care company blast off with Blake's top tips and strategies to help you grow your business. You will also find a list of our trusted affiliates with discount codes for brands like Ballard Equipment, Cujo Yardware, Equipment Defender, and Isotunes. The BB10 code works for all of our online courses and for our BB10 partners listed on the products page. The link is in the podcast description or check it out online at thestripenation.com. Now, back to you, Blake.
Yay, I can hit buttons, finally. I'm trying over here, guys. I hope you're getting a good laugh because literally when I hit the wrong button on the last podcast, I just busted out laughing, frustrated and laughing all at the same time. Trying to keep it upbeat over here and stay positive, but let's start off this video. Once again, apologize for the audio, but really listen to the information. This guy's a genius. So, Mike Andes.
Mike Andes, you guys have seen him on YouTube. Sometimes roast me a little bit, but words of wisdom, man.
For who?
For the lawn guys.
I think the big thing is just to focus on the two things that actually move the needle forward, right? Which is selling and hiring. I think we get distracted with so many other things, but that's really the main thing that's going to move your business forward. And then down the road, there'll be other objectives and things they're trying to go for, but that's the thing that's actually going to move the needle.
So how are you hiring right now during all this madness?
Yeah, like the hard part right now is like you got to differentiate yourself somehow. And unfortunately, we're competing with Amazon, who's going to pay someone $18-20 an hour in an air-conditioned facility, have benefits. Like who wants to work outside in the blazing heat when they got that? Or McDonald's for crying out, you get a free iPhone if you just sign up with them.
It is a crazy world right
so
now.
I think we've got to get creative, right? And I think the biggest way to do that is how do we give our employees a percentage of the revenue that they earn for the business instead of just an hourly wage? So they can make 25, 26, 27, and yeah, maybe it's not the most fun work, but they'll do it for the money, right? And how do we get people to think more long-term in our industry instead of like, I'm just going to work for the next 2 months during my spring break, right?
So how do we do that? How do we start that?
It's not...
If you're paying hourly right now.
Well, like, first of all, you got to know your numbers, right? First of all, what percentage of your revenue last year went towards wages, right? Maybe that's, let's say, 40%. Okay, well, can I give 40% of my wages currently to my employees? So that way, if they're working really hard and they're kicking butt, they're going to make more money. If they're slacking off, they're not doing anything, and sitting in the truck taking a nap all day or on their phone, fine, do it, but you're going to make less money.
See, I feel like this is the long-term goal. Like this is a amazing solution. So the original answer that I wanted, and we're gonna dive deep. I did not let him off of my original question. I want to know right now, with everything going on, where do we find people? How do we hire people? Now, he gave a better explanation of like the long-term solution by creating a pay system that allows people the longer and harder they work for your company. Well, not even the longer they work, the harder they work for the company, the more money they can make. So, like I said, it's a fantastic answer, but it's not even the question I asked. He just knew what we truly wanted. So, man, it's intimidating to me. That's why I kept asking these questions. It's intimidating to me. Like, how in the world do I implement that? And something else, like I always preach, know your numbers and going, I use LMN. So it's like going into the system and figuring out what your profit margins are. How much money are you making and how much money are you paying out? And how do you adjust your prices to allow you to do things like Mike here is talking about? You have to do certain steps, in my opinion. This can't be just next week you change it over, and he explains that, but you have to run a business the way you want your business to be ran in the future. Like, I think so many of us think that, next year it's just this, and this, but you don't understand the things you do today are what makes it so your company is that next year.
And I think it's the most fair way to pay, because there's going to be people in your business that are maybe 5 years in and they've been with you for a long time. And you're like, well, I'll pay them more. But they might be the ones that are slacking off the most or just kind of lazy. Whereas the hungry young guys like in there wants to work hard, giving them a percentage of the revenue is the most fair way to do it, in my opinion. It gives them the opportunity to make more money as they grow.
Okay, so how do we find people?
Yeah, like that's always the challenge, right? Like, and so right now it's like you got to realize that all the landscaping companies, they're all talking together, right? They're all the same guys, same gas station, they eat the same places. And I think if you create a culture and you create a place where people can grow, they can make more money on what we call P for P, pay for performance.
Yeah.
So they're going to talk. They're going to tell everyone else. And ideally, you're going to now pick off all your competition's best people, because they want to work for a company where people don't slack off. And they are incentivized to work hard. Like most hardworking guys, they don't want to work with lazy guys.
Yeah.
It's the most demoralizing thing in the world, right? And so I think that's the objective. Create that culture where people want to work for you and they see other people in your business going and doing something cool, right? Like, if you can groom your guys and they go start their own lawn care business, I know people like, I don't want to have competition. It's like, if you can do that and give them the skills to actually be able to start their own business, they're going to tell all the new guys starting out, hey, this is not a dead-end job. You can actually do something here. They go, Blake's here for you. He wants to actually succeed beyond just this business. That's what's going to create that culture where people want to stay.
Okay, so like if we're paying hourly right now, how do we make that transition? Like when and how? Like Monday morning, how do we communicate to the employees?
Yeah, we kind of train like a 3-step program, right? So the first step is you got to know your numbers. You can't just be like, hey guys, we're going to switch to P for P and you're going to get a percentage of revenue and your base pay is like really low now.
Yeah.
They're not going to like it. They need that security, right? So we have a base pay still, which they can't make less than per hour. But the objective is, hey guys, we want to pay you more. And we can't afford that right now. Like, look at the balance sheet. Look at the profit statement. We can't afford it. I know there's some people here that work their butts off, and I want to be able to give you more money. To do that, we're going to give you a percentage of all the revenue you make for this business. So if you work hard, there's no ceiling anymore, right? And we're going to make sure there's a floor. You're not going to make less than a certain amount, but we're going to give you a percentage of all the money you make for this business. Now, before you do that, you need to know your numbers, right? You need to know what percentage am I already giving to them, and then make sure it's going to work from a financial standpoint.
That's awesome. Okay, so like, where would you go right now if you're looking, like you just need to get the word out that you're hiring? Where would you find those people? If you had that set up and everything else, like a culture, how do we find the new people though?
I think you got to realize that
Hammerman, bro.
if you already have, like, let's say you have 5 employees, I'd be looking first, who do they know, right? Friends, family, but more importantly, the landscapers that they're meeting at the gas station, they talk. Like, they talk. The good, the bad, and the ugly all comes out when they're talking at the gas station. Like, for us, for example, we don't allow smoking, right? And so that's a big hurdle. And this past year, it's been tough. But the thing is, all the other competition, they know, okay, I can't work for Augusta because they have that certain level. I can't do that. But they also are going to talk when they're made $27, $28 an hour, and they're talking to their old coworkers who are making $15, $16. That word's going to get around. So I think we could have a $500 incentive if they bring somebody on. And I'd rather pay them $500 than Facebook or ZipRecruiter or anyone, bless their hearts. But like, I'm not interested in growing their businesses. I'd rather put that $500.
All right, Tigran's coming on here, and I want to let them speak without pausing it. But, okay, I got to say this. As you move through and you talk with more people and you're trying to grow your business, you try to be more legitimate. You're a legitimate company. And I got to say this, from my experience, you don't understand. When I was in high school, what these two successful business owners are saying is what I used to do. I used to just go ask my friends, family, my peers in high school, any freaking person, do you want a job? Do you need a job? Will you come work with me? Will you come help me? That's what I did, and I never had employee problems. Then you try to grow your business and do what the big companies do, and ads and ZipRecruiter, like the things he's talking about, and all of these fancier recruitment tools, when sometimes you just got to go the other route and go with the basics. I love what Tigran said. You'll hear in a second. Putting a hit out and just, dude, I'll pay anybody if you find me an employee. I mean, really think about it. It's genius. Absolutely genius. People have a huge incentive to go out and find somebody for you. Stop trying to get fancy, okay? Like, the most successful people that I know, okay, you got to understand, there's a difference between running our own successful business and trying to corporatize your lawn care business. You don't want to corporatize your lawn care business. Like, stop trying to get fancy. Like, I think 2022 should be the year that we stop trying to be fancy. Just go in and freaking get it done, baby.
Landscaper, dude. You're going to build a block wall and put him behind it.
Tigran, how do you find people?
For what?
Like, in this day and age, the number one question is, I can't find anybody.
He just raises goats.
I put a hit out to my guys. I said, hey, we need more people. So I told Jose, we need more people. Brings more people. He just gets them.
You pay him?
Yeah.
Like, how much do you pay him to bring somebody in?
Jose's very well taken care of.
He gets a new truck every other day, and a new phone, and a new laptop.
Yeah, he gets $42 an hour. Salary is chilling.
That's awesome. Tigran, Mike Andes, check him out. YouTube.
Both enemies. Hate him.
Yeah, punch him, man. Punch him.
I also hate Blake too.
You got to understand. First off, the information, incredible. These guys, you got to meet these people in real life. If you haven't met me or Tigran, like, the guys that are legit, successful, killing it, and true on camera as they are in person. These two guys really are. Like, they're legit. Killers. Awesome. You got to understand, I've never met Mike Andes in my whole life. This was the first time. And it's funny, like, we don't even talk really that much online, like maybe a comment or two back and forth, but like never really had a conversation with him at all. But we still knew each other because we watched, each other on YouTube. It's kind of weird. I've met Tigran in 2019. What a wild dude. He's super successful. What'd you think about that information, man? Like, really, really good. Again, I apologize about the audio, but there's 25,000 people, shoved into a building, and I had a terrible microphone. What do you expect? But the pay for performance, I think if you could set that up in your business, I think success is bound to happen because people have an incentive to work. Like, I wish that there wasn't so much that went into a lawn care business, because there's so many expenses that drive the profit margin down. And then you tell these prices to people and they're just shocked. They're paying, okay, inflation is at an all-time high right now. They're paying more for literally everything. But then you give them your new price for lawn care, and they're like, what happened to $30? I want to pull my hair out. I just don't understand it. Like, the industry, we all need to do better. We need to clean up the industry and raise our prices. I literally see no other option, okay? Because now, with inflation going up, that means our profit is at an all-time low if you keep your prices where they are. Now listen, Mike is right, okay, about the pay for performance and finding people. All of that information is correct. But it falls apart if you don't have your pricing set up. If you don't have your pricing right, you can't pay for these things, okay? I think the greatest thing that I ever heard, I wish I knew who said it. It might have been Mark Bradley at one of the LMN webinars, but he's saying that, like, if you raise your prices, it was Mark Bradley at the LMN event. If you raise your prices, it solves all of the problems, the income problems, or the retaining employee problems, or the paying employee problems, or the equipment problems. If you raise your prices. So I think that's actually the ultimate lesson that we all need to learn and implement immediately. We need to raise our prices until literally the whole waterline of the industry pricing is up, okay? I wish we could just all walkie-talkie each other and agree that stop just charging so low, okay? I think right now, actually, it's going to help lawn care and landscapers because there's so much demand right now and not enough people to fulfill the work. We can charge whatever. Absolutely any price. But like I said, I'm still getting some of the pushback by charging like our new premium. You know what I'm saying? I get pumped about this, guys. I get really, I don't know, upset, whatever you want to call it, whatever that little rage just was, because listen, I want employees for 10, 20 years. Like, that's a dream. Like, you see, like, some of the old movies, like, I was watching Tommy Boy, you know, and at his dad's auto parts store, you know, they had employees for 30 years. Now, why was that? Because pensions were a thing. So it was a lot easier to retain people, you know, if you had one of those big companies. But that's a dream of mine. And all of that without charging a higher price, you can't pay people enough to want to stay. And that's why I like to pay for performance, because it's giving people an incentive to keep working hard, keep making the business money, because the more money that they make for the business, the more money that they take home to their families. So I want to say that I'm going to do that. I don't know if I will, but I should. I should. I really should. And I think we all should, but it's difficult. It's hard. But we shall see. Maybe we'll bring Mike Andes on, or find him, hunt him down in real life to get a better quality audio conversation. But I hope you guys respected that I didn't let him off one time, 2 times, 3 times. I hammered him like 4 or 5 times. No, how do we get people now? okay? Because that's a question that I get all the time. And I figure I think they have like 80 locations, his lawn care business. Just like insane. Just a next level business. So couldn't think of a better person to ask. And as always, Tigran, he's awesome. They don't know I'm making this podcast, so shout out to them. Go check out their channels. Yeah. Dope guys. That's why you got to go to GAE. You got to go to some of these events because there's no other time that all of these people are. You're never going to be able to meet these people. You know, freaking Tigran lives in California. I'm not going wherever he lives. I'm staying as far. Besides In-N-Out, it's the only reason to go to California. I haven't been there in a few years though, but and Mike, I don't know where he lives. Wherever he lives, you're not gonna find him. You might as well just go to an event and see all these people in one place. But that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Something different, man. If you guys have any ideas for podcasts, for people on the podcast, let me know, man. We'll call these fools up and get them on the podcast anytime. But that's it, guys. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you for listening to the B&B Lawn Care Podcast. We hope you got some golden nuggets that you can implement into your lawn and landscaping business. If you enjoyed today's show, be sure and leave us a 5-star review. Connect with us on all social media platforms by searching at BB Lawn Care KC. Keep grinding, keep striping, and stay positive out there, friends.